So Kristen, thank you so much today for being here. We're really excited about the new undergraduate program that we're starting at the University of Texas School of Information, and our informatics major is launching in the fall of 2021. And so we're excited about it and wanted to get you in, ask you a few questions about the program since you were in the program and now being an instructor in the program. So the first question I have for you today is, why is informatics an important field of study? With the launch of this new program, some people kind of understand informatics and some do not. Why, in your experience in the classroom and now teaching in the program, why is informatics an important field of study going forward in the 21st century?
Informatics is an important field of study because it just has so much to offer. We have all these different, undergraduate and graduate students with so many different interests. And I feel that a lot of the majors that are offered at universities don't really touch on the niche areas that fit into informatics. So we can capture a lot of students who have interests that go kind of between majors or beyond majors, and capture their interests and maybe pick them up as double majors or, having, single majors in the program. I have a feeling that we're going to have a lot of students that are deciding to change their majors now that we are offering this informatics program. So I think that, for those students who do have interests that fall within the areas of the program, it's going to be really great.
Awesome. Some of the students that I've already spoke with have been excited about the range within the discipline of their interest. So many students, for example, have an interest in STEM, but they also have an interest in social justice. Some of them have an interest in data science, and then others have an interest in web design. And when we begin to look at our society, when we work in industry wants you to bring a diverse set of values, a diverse set of talents. And I believe the iSchool touches on all of those things within their courses. So to the courses question, how have iSchool courses transformed your perspective on your life and your career? So having taken them in the course and now teaching, how have those courses really kind of transformed your trajectory in your life and your career?
Yeah, the iSchool courses have really transformed my trajectory on my life and career in more ways than I could have ever imagined. So I actually started taking School of Information courses when I was an undergraduate student at the University of Texas. And I believe it was either my sophomore or junior year, I was in a meeting with my academic advisor, and she recommended some of the School of Information courses. I ended up starting with the Introduction to Information Studies course and just absolutely loved it, and decided after that I wanted to pursue a minor in the School of Information. So I took every course under the sun, doubling that with my major in English literature. I thought that I wanted to be like a children's literature author or some kind of author over time, but really the iSchool courses kind of transformed my trajectory and what I had in mind for my life, and actually encouraged me to apply for the graduate program in the School of Information at UT and pursue a degree within the graduate program focusing on libraries and archives. Well, once I entered the program, I realized that there was so much more to offer. There's so many courses that are offered through the School of Information, whether it's libraries and archiving or user experience, user research, usability, competitive intelligence, things like that. And I really decided to focus on kind of the competitive intelligence business researchy route, which kind of led me to where I am today in the field of, business research, working for consulting firms. But then also I was a teaching assistant in the information technology lab the whole entire time I was in the graduate program. And I was a teaching assistant for children's literature and information in cyberspace. And children's literature kind of really brought me full circle to kind of wanting to go back to being, you know, the children's literature author and all that. You know, being a teaching assistant for the course, I really focused on, you know, those courses for the semesters that I was in the program, and ended up creating this web-based version of children's literature that we now offer at the university, and am teaching that in addition to my career in consulting. And so I think that, you know, the courses and everything that the program has to offer just, you know, really pushed me to pursue a career in different areas, which is so cool that I can have both at the same time. And it's just been incredible.
That sounds great. You know, it's interesting to have that perspective once you've graduated and you look back on the classes that you've taken and kind of your evolution of getting into the course through your advisor's meeting, and then taking the courses and kind of seeing the natural the natural interest that those courses provided. What would you say to a student today who sees that we have a new undergraduate program and hasn't taken a course in informatics? What would you say to that person who said, "Ooh, here's a course in informatics, basic informatics"? What would you say to them if they're thinking of taking a course and looking into the undergraduate program?
I would tell that student just that it is definitely worth the risk to take the course. I know that, you know, there's only a certain amount of credits you can take, and, you know, you're working on a certain degree plan, but you're definitely not going to regret taking a course in informatics. We have so much to offer and cover really a broad spectrum of interests that can complement your current major really well. And they might actually make you decide to, you know, minor in informatics or do a double major or switch your major to informatics. So it's definitely worth taking the leap and deciding to take the course. And you may find that, actually you probably will find that you'll love the course and end up wanting to take more in the field.
Well, you know, I really appreciate that. That's great advice. As an advisor in the program, I know I would tell the students a lot of the same things. You know, take the risk, look into it, and I think that's with any course, right? A student, many times we have to take courses in a certain field to get those core courses taken care of. So you say, well, what science course am I going to take? You know, is it anthropology or is it geology? And many times, I think when we look back on our college careers, some of the most fascinating courses we took were just kind of by chance or just something we thought we might be interested in, and then it developed. I know that was, it went that way for me with anthropology. I took basic anthropology, then anthropology 2, and then took cultural anthropology because I found a real interest in it, and then ended up majoring in ethnic studies, which kind of mirrors cultural anthropology and ethnographic research and those kinds of things. So it's interesting how that one course, you go to college thinking you're going to go down one path, but I always tell students to be open to multiple paths because the university is wide, and there's a lot of things out there to learn and grow, and very tangible for our educational journey. The last question I have for you is one that I just think that is key, because many times when we are going to school, we're being educated, we want to go to a class that is going to be exciting or something that we're going to learn new, right? And we're going to grow from it. What was the most, if you could think back on either in your teaching career or in taking a class, what was the one thing that you found most exciting about those courses in informatics?
I think the one thing that I found most exciting about taking courses in informatics was really that, you know, the university and the School of Information brings in all of these different instructors that have jobs in the fields or areas of studies that they're teaching. And so they're really bringing real life experiences to you. I remember taking several different courses, you know, within usability and design thinking, and having those professors come from jobs out in the real world, and being able to go with them, to their offices and work on projects with them and really see what would this course look like for me with a job in the real world. It was really cool, and it made it really exciting for me to see what could a career be like in this field. What kind of class like this, how can this transform, my future and my career? And is this something that I can see myself doing in the real world? So I think just, having that kind of real world experience and just a taste of that in several of the courses was just incredibly exciting.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. That's one of the things I love about this particular field of study as well. Students are going to take courses from attorneys, from engineers, professors coming from all those different backgrounds, as you articulate. I think it's absolutely exciting. And I think for us, being that we are now past graduate school and those things, we look at industry embodies all of those aspects. You look at a financial industry, they have lawyers and computer scientists and people with business degrees. When you look at working for the government, you have people with international degrees and people who come from computer science backgrounds or CNS and data science and those kinds of things. So the diversity is out there in industry. And I believe that the study of informatics really embodies all of those different industry possibilities for students and really lays it out for them in a clear and concise way. And so it's a really exciting time for the University of Texas and the School of Information. I'm really excited that you are a part of it as one of our instructors. And I'm excited about the program starting. And I really appreciate your time today and taking a moment to just talk to us a little bit about your experience. And we look forward to talking to you again in the future.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you having me.